Good evening, everyone. My name is Blake Beckrich, and I will be giving my pre-flight weather briefing um, for aviation weather. All right, to begin, we'll look at my route. So I'm currently located in Georgetown, Texas. So we'll be taking off at KGTU at 23:30, which is 5:30 p.m. and we're going to head toward Granbury, Texas, which is 106 nautical miles away, and that's K Golf Delta Juliet. And our second stop will be to Tyler, Texas, which is 123 nautical miles away from Granbury, and then to Waco, which is 103 nautical miles from Tyler, and then back home to Georgetown, which is 60 nautical miles. This cross country should take um, around 4 to 5 hours of flight, and so we'll begin to look at the weather. The first category we're going to look at is adverse conditions. So there's not really any concerning adverse conditions. There's a turbulence high air met that affects the area that we're flying in, but we're planning or expecting to fly at 6,500, and that turbulence doesn't start till around like 22,000 MSL. So we'll be good there. And then additionally, there is a TFR that's active that will be flying around, so we need to be aware of it. But our route doesn't take us through it. It'll be in McGregor, Texas. Quick look at the synopsis. So as I mentioned, we will be flying basically in Central and North Texas, and a little bit of West or East Texas. But as we can see by looking at the surface analysis chart, there's nothing really too concerning as far as highs and lows go in Texas. And then as you can also see, um, there's not a huge pressure differential, so there will be not a lot of wind, light winds, and no foreseeable precipitation. All right, looking at current weather, so I've marked in red the airports that we'll be flying to. Right now in Georgetown, the wind is coming from generally the north at 5 knots. We have good visibility. It's overcast at 9,500. Yeah. If we continue to move down to what Granbury is looking like right now, pretty similar conditions. No wind in Granbury. It's reporting 10 surface miles visibility, and then clear clouds. In Tyler, we have wind coming from the north at 4 knots. Again, 10 surface statute miles of visibility, clear clouds. And then lastly, still in that en route phase for Waco, wind generally coming from the north at 5 knots, and similar visibility and cloud coverages. All right, looking at our forecast, I just put in the data for the tabs. So in DFW, which is kind of near Granbury, from the 14th at 00 to the 15th at 06, which is kind of that time frame that we'll be flying, and that's where pretty much all these tabs are going to be covering that time frame. What we can expect is wind coming from 040 at around 9 knots, greater than 6 statute miles of visibility, and overcast at 25,000. If we look down that list, we're not going to see anything that really tells us much different that's going to affect our flight, so we'll continue on. Then I included the aviation surface forecast, um, looking at the surface winds and the visibility. And I like to look at this one because it gives us, if we're going to have limited visibility, how strong the winds are and where they're coming from. But as you can see, there's nothing really concerning with this flight. And then lastly, I have included the NOTAMs. There was a ton of en route NOTAMs that it'd probably take too long to brief. But for departure and destination NOTAMs, which is the same departure and destination, there were really only just obstructions. And then for that en route portion, there's some navigational, some airspace and FTC NOTAMs for people who were going to be doing approaches. But this was going to be a VFR flight, so that was not concerning. But otherwise, based off this weather briefing, I would have made it a go decision based off the data that we received to do a VFR flight at that time. Thank you.